Man, oh man, the memories. The memories, third, fourth, and fifth grade, right here. St. Cecilia. And the thing is, I used to walk from here home, which wasn't far, maybe 10 minutes down on Elmore. Um, Walking home with me and my friends, Johan and all of us, at that age back then, walking home. And I had to be maybe what, nine, 10, something like that. You know, we'd hook up and walk home together and walk to school, by myself as well. Really young, walking to and from school by myself. Nobody picking me up. Me doing my thing like I'm doing now. Yeah, I've always been okay with being alone. I don't know why, but I've always been okay with not having a lot of people around me. I mean, yeah, I had friends and, went through those stages where you're trying to fit in and, be somebody that you're not, you know, not understanding who you are, not understanding your purpose and what you bring to the world. Now I understand. But when you're a kid, you really don't understand. Unless you have somebody actually teaching you this, teaching you who you are, instilling the things that you need to be the best you. Unless you have that, you don't know. You grow up and you try to fit in with other people that you know aren't good for you. But, you do a lot of that and then it backfires. And then you go through your own trials and you go through your own trial and error stage as you're growing up and coming into your own. I mean, I know, excuse me, my allergies are messing with me a little bit. I mean, I know guys my age that still don't know themselves. So, yeah, and even coming over here. So this was the eighth grade, and we didn't have a ball team or anything like that. Just recreation. Catholic school. We actually had to go to assemblies over here, which weren't many. And I just remember just having a lot of fun in school, what we were taught. So, yeah, it's Catholic school. Learning about God at a very early age. Now, as we get older, we don't, we understand if what we were taught were right or wrong, or if the perspective is, not yours. Things like that. As you get older, you learn, right? But the foundation of learning God and going to church and everything like that started from with family on Sundays, but going to a school like this. So Mrs. B, she's the one that started calling me Bobby in third grade. and it's stuck. Because I used to be like, do you have your homework today, Bobby? And I used to be like, my name is not Bobby, it's Robert. She used to be like, Bobby's another name for Robert. Ding dong. It's funny how I remember that, right? But Miss B was cool, tall lady, and she always wore leather pants. And she drove a Cadillac. You know what I mean? My grandfather drove Cadillacs because we had Cadillacs in our family because my grandfather worked at Tarrytown, worked at General Motors in Tarrytown, New York. So we had Cadillacs as well. So, and man, my grandfather, on my 13th birthday, um, he took his own life in the back of the house. But I'll explain. I'll break that down in another video um, about that. Processed it, let it go. I'll never forget him. I always love him. My childhood drastically changed after he did that because then we had to sell a house and it was just different. So, but yeah, that's my old elementary school. I'm actually just coming through my old neighborhood to do something, to make a stop somewhere, to pick something up. But so many memories all over my neighborhood. So many. My most traumatic moments have happened to me in my own neighborhood. So, yeah, I'm not gonna go. That's all stories for other videos. I'll get more deep into that stuff. But yeah, the foundation for following God and for understanding God started in third grade. So what, you're about 8, 9, or 10 or something like that? It started really early. Going to church with my family, my grandmother. My grandfather wasn't a church person, but my grandmother was, so I was always there with her. And then my uncle getting me into youth group and thing like that. So I was always right next to God. I just didn't know how to look for him myself. But now I do. I didn't know how to search for his face myself. But now I do because it's really been instilled in me since a kid. Just trying to find me, you know? Not trying to find anybody else. Not looking for my parents, not looking for family, not looking for friends. And like I said, you go through trial and error of trying to find yourself, right? Trying to fit into with people that don't mean you any good, with people that you know aren't good for you, but you hang around them anyway, all that stuff, you know? So, yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys too. You know, it starts early. The foundation starts early. I'm crossing the street right now, so excuse me. The foundation starts early, you know? And it stays with you forever, unless you make a choice to move away from it. If you make a choice to lose your faith or, you know, give up your faith, then that's on you. You know, it's a choice. You have to choose God. You know, my family kept God in my life. They instilled God into me at a very young age, whether through church or school or whatever it may be. The foundation from it was instilled in me early through my family, and now I've taken it up and I've picked up my own sword, and now I can take the journey alone. You know, now I can walk this thing alone and not be afraid to do it. I'm not afraid to go through life alone. You know, I'm not afraid to go anywhere alone. I'm not afraid to do anything alone. I'm prepared to die alone because I understand the mission, and I understand what comes with this mission is isolation, solitude, things like that. It does come with you being um, kind of like pushed to the side, I would say a little bit, because most people aren't like you. Most people aren't willing to go through what you're willing to go through to get to your peace. Most people aren't willing to search for God the way you are. Most people aren't willing to take the journey. They just rather stay comfortable in what they know. They rather stay comfortable in the vibration that they're already in. So, um, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna make this stop. I actually got to stop at the bank. I'm gonna make this stop. I get a paper from there, and I'm headed back out of here. I have the memories of my old neighborhood. It's made me who I am. This area, this place, the things that I've gone through right here where I'm from, they made me who I am today. Full contribution to who I am today, but it's no longer who I am. So, um, yeah, yeah. Stay in prayer, stay in good spirits, stay moving forward. Keep your eyes on the prize, which is making it to the kingdom. Um, Stay in your book and just keep being the best you. That's really it. So I'm out.